How important is it for us to realize that dinosaurs not only existed but are found in the Bible, and to realize scientifically that dinosaurs and man existed simultaneously? How important is that? What will that do to an individual who's open-minded? That brings me to introduce another of my best friends, engineer scientist Mike Scaff. Mike is totally in charge of the simulator, and he trains the pilots how to fly the F-15 before they're entrusted with an actual piece of equipment. He's going to give us a testimony this morning as to what brought him back to the truth and to embrace the Scripture. And it was a little stop in a little town southwest of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Would you welcome our dear friend, Mike Scaff?
Thank you, sir. Good morning, friends. It's good to see you. I'll try not to talk really fast. My brain goes 100 miles an hour and I get to speak it, and you got to listen really fast to me. Dr. Baugh is right. And in my background, I'm a graduate of the Air Force Academy and flew F-16s, and now work for Lockheed Martin. Very technical, very scientifically oriented. And when Nancy and I, my wife, moved here about 30 years ago, we'd bring our son down to Dinosaur Valley State Park and we'd go camping, and we always turned the corner here and looked off to the right and saw this double-wide mobile home that said Creation Evidence Museum. And I thought, oh my goodness, what kind of a sideshow act could be going on in there? Because everybody knows that evolution is fact. I mean, I was taught that at the academy, and that's just the way it is, all the scientific fact. So we never stopped in. And then one day we thought, well, let's just drop in and see what's going on. We can scoff at them maybe. And we went in, and Dr. Baugh was there. It was the first Saturday. Little did we know, he invited us to sit right there on the floor, because I said that's where all the best PhD students sat, right on the floor. And so we pulled in there, and he gave a lecture. I was enthralled, because I'd never heard this before. I didn't hear this in any of my upbringing, never in church, never in school. And he brought to light that there was evidence, scientific evidence, that backed up creation. I had never heard that. And Dr. Baugh, you might not remember it, that was the same week that you told us, hey, on Thursday on CBS, the great discovery of Noah's Ark. That was that year that you had come back from Ararat, and you were on the TV. And so I can remember precisely the year that we visited the museum. I watched that show, and I thought, you know, he's right. There is truly scientific evidence that supports a creation and a young earth. We're standing on a 6,000-year-old earth. I am convinced by the evidence alone. And of course, Nancy and I were Christians at that point, and we were in a soft denomination that didn't believe the Bible was true and inerrant. And so slowly, after introduction here at the museum, we began to realize maybe you can trust the Bible. Maybe every word is true. Nancy was relating earlier to Dr. Baugh that we were in church, and the preacher said, oh, Noah's Ark, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. He said, that's Old Testament talk for a long time. And we were just convicted to the core. That's not what that means. It means it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Yes. Maybe to the minute.
Yes.
God does things very precisely. And so from that point on, we realized we were in the wrong church. We need to go someplace where they believe the Bible, and it just changed the course of my life. And I could finally reconcile what I believed with what was written in the Bible. And so thank you, Dr. Baugh. You've made a big difference to me, and I've not been the same since.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. This makes my day.